thank you for inviting me to participate in this conference today. It's a great honor for me to be here with my former parliamentary colleagues and other distinguished guest speakers. I listened to what's been said today, and I strongly endorse the recommendations put forward by the other speakers in order to counter and stop the terrorism of the Iranian regime. As has been said by other speakers, terror is the means by which the regime survives and stays in power. It's a way it advances its reactionary policies and confronts any opposition, be it in Iran or in any other part of the world. The trails of the regime's state terrorism can be traced all over the world. It targets citizens from all over the world, and as we've heard, in recent years, the regime is engaging in attacks against its opponents on European soil with no regard whatsoever for human life. The two bombing plots that we've heard about reminds me very much indeed of the ISIS terrorist attacks, whose aim was nothing more than to cause mass casualties and chaos. If these plots and attacks have been successful, thousands of people, including ordinary citizens, parliamentarians and dignitaries, some of whom are at this conference today, would all have been killed. And for what reason? Purely and simply because, like the Iranian people, they supported a free and democratic Iran. In other words, the regime's terrorism and suppression are the two sides of the same coin that buys the regime's survival. We cannot allow the regime to succeed in these evil aims. If we in Europe stand passively by and do nothing in the face of the growing regime's terrorist activities in Europe, then I regret to say that we will all be complicit in their evil atrocities. If our governments lack political courage to hold the regime to account, then they should look no further than look at the brave Iranian people and the Iranian resistance movements led by Madam Rajavi, who refused to give in to the regime's brutal repression. The reality is that the policy of appeasement that Europe has been pursuing, engaging in endless talks and negotiations for the sake of hollow diplomacy and preserving the flawed nuclear deal, has tilted the balance of power in Iran in favor of the regime instead of the Iranian people. The sanctions relief is not going to the people of Iran who desperately need it. The money is instead being used to support the export of state terrorism. The Iranian people and the Iranian resistance movement bear the heavy task of changing their country for the better, and this is as it should be. But the least we in Europe can do, and indeed should do, is to stand with the Iranian people and hold the regime to account. Despite the hardship they face, the people of Iran and their resistance movement say a change is within reach, and we should take confidence in their views and help them to bring about that change sooner rather than later. Thank you.